I thought I would talk about business strategy with all my readers today, and I grew up as an avid sailboat racer. Raced kind of all over the West Coast and uh, mostly dinghies and Olympic class boats, and so I thought I would relate sailboat racing to uh, to business strategy. When I was 18 years old, there was a regatta that I'd always wanted to win, and it was a best of seven regatta, and we had finished six races. At the end of six races, I was in the lead in the regatta points, and what would happen is after every race, you would check the scoreboard and you would see where you were. So at the end of the sixth race, I checked the regatta scoreboard and knew that I was in first place. Then I checked to see who else could possibly win the regatta. Out of about 30 or so boats, there was only two other boats. Uh, the the second boat, I we did what we used to do is similar to what they do with sports teams. We'd figure out all the possible combinations of if so and so won the race, where would I have to be? If this person won the race, what place would I have to come in? If these people won, and so for this race, I figured out that I had to come in. If one guy won the race, I'd have to come in at least fifth to win the regatta, and if another guy won the race, I could he could potentially win the regatta if I didn't finish the race. But he was pretty much a long shot. So really, I only had one person to compete with late in the race or late in the regatta. So my whole strategy for the final race was to stay in front of the guy that I had to beat by or that had to beat me by five places. So during the start sequence and everything, I made sure I knew where he was. I got a little better start than he was. I stayed in front of him, and I knew that there were some other strategies that were going to work. I knew that staying in front of him was going to be a trade-off. There, we were racing in the North Sound, and the wind was shifting, and I knew that if you went to the right side of the course, the wind and the current was going to favor that side of the course. But I decided early on that that wasn't what I was going to do. I was just going to stay in front of the guy I needed to beat. So sure enough, early on, somebody took the strategy that I thought of, and they went directly to the right and stayed out there. And by the first mark, they were probably a mile ahead. It was unbelievable how far they were ahead of us. But I didn't really care because they had no chance of beating me in the regatta. By the end of the race, they still beat me by about a quarter of a mile, and but I came across the line second and won the regatta, and that's really what I was looking for. That was my goal. So how does that relate to business strategy? Well, the scoreboard, the scoreboard that we all looked at after every race to see how we were and how the competition did relates to the balance sheet and the income statement. That's the scoreboard in a business. Tells you how you did uh, and where you're at in the competition, what you've got on the balance sheet. The tax returns probably have that you fill out probably are similar. They're probably part of the scoreboard, but none of that teaches you or tells you how to race the race and to race the race and to take your business to the next level and to go to the next level and to win over the next period, whatever that is. If it's in this case, it was a race. In your case, as a business owner, it might be the next month, it might be the next year, it might be the next 5 years, could be a lifetime. It's your strategy that's going to help dictate where you go with your business, whether you're a small business owner or or a multinational public corporation. And so that's the importance of having a strategy and not just a strategic plan, because I'm not a fan of strategic plans. I'm a fan of strategy implementation. Get a strategy and implement it. And in addition to that, make know that there are trade-offs. I could have tried to win that final race, but in winning that final race, there were significant risks to go into the right side of that course. The wind could have died out there. I could have been stuck out there, and my competition could have went by me, and I could have come in sixth place and lost the regatta. So in strategy, there's always going to be trade-offs. So anyway, that's my thoughts for today on business strategy. Thank you.